That's a little bit of a spicy cheddar. All right.
Alrighty, guys, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Fantastic. Alrighty, welcome back to the Tides of Avalon, episode 19. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a little bit of a hiatus because I had uni exams and shit to do. So I basically went full hermit for like 2 weeks. But yeah, we're back now. Thank you for your patience. And we're gonna get stuck right in. Who would like to do a recap of last session for a point of DM inspiration?
Fingers blown up. Dragon wings. Fuck yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that's enough to get you a point of DM inspiration, but good try.
Let me elaborate from my friend
From
here.
my colleague.
So we successfully got Joffrey's soul back. And Ish.
Sorry, what? Yeah.
And we also picked up a new recruit by the name of Podvar, who is Aurelia's son. Head back to Merlin, got him sorted out. He paid us healthily, and then pretty much went on, got some information on what he wants to do next, which is to continue to the mountains to look for a new power source for Brigantia, and then a tiny bit of shopping from the party.
And someone tried stealing and ended up regretting the stealing, and then didn't end up regretting the stealing. Night markets.
Yep. Alright, so you both get a point.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
So
Yep, so essentially what happened was we wrapped up everything in Skellig and came back to the city of Brigantia, where everybody reconnected with, you know, various groups, various things, got bits of information off Merlin, did a little bit of shopping. I believe now everybody has a +1 weapon?
we does.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, excellent, fantastic. So, yep, as I said, you got a little bit of information off Merlin, and we are still... We're going to call it, you guys have come back from the night market. It is now, I don't know, the next morning. You guys managed to get a full long rest in Haven. And we're back out on the street, wondering what to do next. Where would you guys like to go? What would you like to do?
Is there anything else you guys wanted to get while we're in town before we head off? Anyone you wanted to see?
Think we have got like the majority of the stuff we want, because I think that was, we splurged a fair bit on what we've gotten so far. So I think it might be a good idea to stop shopping, otherwise we'll start window shopping and going, look at this, and then going, hey, can I like borrow, 2,000 gold, bro?
I could use a new dress, you know.
Oh,
we can
yeah.
go back to Haven and see how our friend is doing.
Fluffy looks at Mr. Lores with the don't die part. Fluffy doesn't want any of us to die, so that's nice.
Oh, great.
That's always
We'll
reassuring.
try, I guess.
Yeah, we'll try.
No guarantees.
And the dragon says no.
I mean, you guys did pretty well to not have that happen last time, so... Alright, so we've made it back to Haven. Which one of you spoke to George?
It was I.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's been a couple of weeks and my brain is high-key fried still, so forgive me if I don't remember lots of different things. You guys might be able to get away with a bit more shit this session than you would otherwise, because I don't remember fucking jack shit right now. Okay, so you've made it back to Haven. You guys rock up to the front door. The three of you. Podvar has been summoned back to the... Damn fluffy. Podvar's been summoned back to the infirmary before you guys head away. He says he'll meet you on the road whenever he can. So, you guys are at the door of Haven. What would you like to do?
Let's go in and check on
On Erwin.
Okay.
yeah, both Erwin and
And Mogget? No problem. Yeah, so just for expediency's sake, we say you're not out on the street, you were in Haven anyway, and you guys just come downstairs.
Yep.
So you find yourself in the foyer. And you guys can hear clattering and banging coming from the kitchen.
Let's go into the kitchen.
I will follow.
Alrighty, as you guys walk in, you see Erwin pottering about on the kitchen table, making something that looks vaguely like breakfast. And she notices you as you come in, and she sort of waves and she says, "Oh, good morning. I trust you slept well. There's tea on the table if you'd like some."
Oh, I thank you. I'm gonna go up and get some food and tea.
Me too.
And as you guys do that, she turns around to you and she says, "Oh, thank you for dropping off the package for Dagda that I had. I appreciate it."
It's quite alright. I'm sure she'll enjoy it. Oh, well, she did. I'm sure.
That's right, it's dinner.
Yes. Now, is there anything I can get for you before I imagine you're heading away today?
Yes, we're heading to the mountains. Merlin wants us to try and find a new power source for Brigantia.
Got any ideas?
As Erwin hears you say that, she sort of raises her eyebrows and she says, "Well, he's ambitious, I'll give him that. I don't know much about... Did he say where he wanted you to go? Like, exactly, or just some sort of vague wizardy up into the mountains?"
Can we pull out the map that he gave us and like point at the marking he made?
Yep, so you clear away some stuff on the table, you roll out your map.
Yep.
What are you pointing out to Erwin here?
Well, I'm pretty sure when I asked Merlin to provide us with like actual documentation or like proper stuff, he gestured on the map. I'm just going to gesture where he gestured. I don't.
Yeah, there's crosses and question marks and exclamation marks signifying different things, which previous
with different
explorers have
caverns.
found.
And so as you guys are sort of pointing this out and explaining it to Erwin, she says, "Oh, so this is the caverns that he's asked you to go into. Is that near a town, by any chance? Do you know?"
Believe so, it is. And I mean, he didn't really have enough information to give us about the caverns, because largely they're unexplored as far as we know. But we know that there's some illegal spelunkers in the town, so we could get some directions from them. But of course, if there's other information where we can get a little bit more direction instead of waltzing in and being strangers and not knowing names, and there's a possibility that strangers will not be welcome.
Well, if it is the town I'm thinking of, and you see her trace her finger along the road marks on the second map, or on the second part of the map that sort of directs you how to get there from Brigantia, and you can see her lips moving as she's sort of counting and being like, if it's the town I'm thinking of...
The mining town?
It's called Humboldt.
Humboldt. Right.
And I know the midwife who lives there. She used to come to Roger for supplies and that sort of thing every now and again when she couldn't get a hold of Dagda. Her name is Miriam, I believe.
Miriam. Right. Okay. Well, that's a start. We at least know a name and no direction, I guess.
Now, according to what you said earlier, Kinura, I'm thinking one of the good ways to get... From what I know about Helmbold, I haven't spent very much time there. I passed through a few years ago. They're very insular, I suppose you could say is the right word. They don't take kindly to strangers. But if you go in with supplies for Miriam, they might be more open to talking to you. Let me think. It has been a long time since she's been back, but I'll see if I can go and find Roger's manifest for her and see if there's any supplies you can take there. Because then it's not a pretense if you're actually delivering something, right? What do you think? Is that a good idea?
I think so. Whatever gets us in with the townspeople,
Alright.
I guess, because medical supplies is appreciated by all.
Yes, it's not always just medical supplies, though. She's somewhat of a handy woman. Can I get you to come with me? We'll go down into the shop and see if we can find the receipts in the manifest. And she's going to sort of get up from the table and stroke Mugger on the head as she walks past and take you guys into the front of the shop. I don't have a map for that at the moment, but just imagine that you guys are in, like, do you remember the pokey, weird little, like, curiosities and knick-knack shop that you first
very first episode,
when you very first met him in the very first episode? So she takes you through to there, and she takes you to that huge, big, tall oak bench that sort of sits up in the middle of the store. And she starts rummaging around underneath, and she pulls out some worn-looking boxes of some sort. She sort of places each one in front of you, and she says, now, I'm going to be looking for something. I need you to keep an eye out for the names Humboldt and Miriam as you flick through these. They're usually printed on the front, so they're not too difficult to see. But it would be better if we all... It'll go a bit faster if we all work together. Alright, so...
Wonderful idea.
Okay, I need you guys to all roll insight checks for me, please. All three of you.
Nice.
Uno memento.
I got me an
1.
11.
Alright.
Sorry, my Adobe Acrobat's just fucking having a seizure. One sec.
That's alright, it happens.
I got a 1. That dice is going straight back into it.
Back in jail!
Just took it out to roll and it's going back
I
in.
know, I was sleeping. Did you not warm them up before you started playing?
No, I forgot to take
You
them
gotta
out.
No.
give him a kiss!
I'm sorry, I'll kiss the other ones. Then
I
I'll
rolled
behave
a
next
14.
time.
Alright, so we got an 11, a 14, and a 1. Alright, so what is the 1 total to? Ayla, is it like a 3?
Oh shit, that's right. There's modifiers. The insight is a 3, so 4.
Hey, Sniper, welcome to the chat. Okay, a 4. Alright, Ellerith, as you go through your box, you see nothing for the first couple of folders, and as you lift up a couple more, a spider runs out at you, and you get a fright. And then because you had a massive intake of breath, you get a cloud of dust in your face, and you start sneezing uncontrollably. The other two, however, you have to make a little bit more headway. With Kinura, you find half of a receipt that's been sort of jammed down in the side of the box that says the word Humboldt across the top. And it starts off with a manifest of stuff like 16 scrolls of hard leather, and then there's a whole bunch of spelled nails, pittons, various bits and bobs that you'd expect for a mining order, but it sort of rips off halfway through and you can't really see the rest. Zane, however, you managed to find a very old, very worn-looking receipt with the name Miriam scrawled in a spidery hand across the top. And this one is different from the rest because it's handwritten. It's not like a printed one like the rest of them are. And I know you guys are like, it's fantasy. Fantasy printers, fantasy receipt printers are still there, and they're still the bane of every fantasy chef. But of course, out of game, you guys would know that Roger would have some way of having some sort of printing press in this incredible building. So, yeah, the reason that this one looks so different is because it's printed in a script entirely different from the others, and it does look very quickly written and in an unfamiliar spidery hand. And this one is kind of difficult to read. Can I get you to make another insight check, please?
Sure. It's a 14 again.
Nice. With a 14, You recognise that quite a lot of this is in a sort of shorthand, which you can't quite understand. But you are looking at a list of things like mandrake, willow bark, spring water, like pebbles, ash, peppercorns, mustard seed, that sort of thing. Which makes you think with an insight check of 14 that this might be more of what you're looking for.
Alrighty, I'm gonna flag it and, let everyone know that I found something.
All right, fantastic. So as you sort of pull this receipt out of the box, Erwin sort of looks over and she says, "Oh, good. That's one of them. I'm amazed we only found one. She used to come here all the time, and these are the oldest boxes. But anyway, that's really by the by. I'm glad you found one. Does it have a list of anything on it? Could you pass it to me, please?"
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
All right, you hand it over, and you see Erwin's eyes like scan and read it, and she sort of nods and she goes, "I can make up a pack of something similar to this. I don't know if we have any mustard seed though. But I can check. Please have breakfast. I will go and pack this together, and then you can take it down."
Sounds good.
And you see her scurry away into a different part of the store.
Sweet.
What do you guys do while you're waiting? Because remember, you guys are in the shop part of Haven right now. You're not in the homestead part. So,
Does anything catch our eyes while we're in here, or
make a
is it
perception check.
Ooh.
I'm looking as well. See if there's any magical
I
goodies.
missed my dice board, but I rolled a 3.
All right, Eloth, I'll get you to roll your own separate perception check here,
Okay.
just because you guys are looking for different stuff.
That is a 15, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right, with a dirty 20, as you're sort of like wandering around the store, sort of, just looking at things, picking up little pieces of like fabric and the knickknacks and stuff that are sort of stashed upon every single available surface in this room. You move aside a stack of books and you're sort of like trying to sort of like angle the spines together and make it look at least a little bit tidier because you can't help yourself. And as you do so, you see the corner of a piece of quite dark looking paper sticking out from between two books.
I'm going. Ooh. Am I able to cast Identify on that little thing that's caught my eye? That little black sheet of paper that's sticking out.
It's going to be a 10. Do you want to do it instantaneously and use a spell slot, or do you want to do a ritual for it? Because the ritual's
I'll do
10
a ritual
minutes.
for it. Yeah.
All right. It's a piece of paper, and as you're about halfway through casting the ritual, Erwin comes back down, and it's holding a large rucksack that's been, quite honestly, stuffed to the gills with all sorts of like pouches and paper folds and all that sort of thing. And she hands it over to you, Zane, and she says, "Well, you're a big strapping man. You can carry this one, can't you?"
Yep.
All right. So
What am I carrying? Sorry, I missed the like.
it's just like it's like a big sort of like rucksack kind of thing. So like you can either sling it
all
across
the
your chest,
things
or you
and
can like
ingredients
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
And as she hands it over to you, Zane, she's going to look towards you, Ellerith, and sort of give you this piece of paper, which on it you read it's a manifest or receipt, showing what's in the bag, and it's addressed to Miriam of Humboldt. And as she's sort of handing it over to you, she goes, "And yes, this is a... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What are you doing?"
I just couldn't help but look around the shop, and this piece of paper here just sticking out caught my eye. I don't know what it is.
Oh, and you mean this? And Erwin sort of grabs a corner and pulls it out. And you see it's a page. It's a page out of a sketchbook. And on the front of it, can I get you to make a perception check, please?
Can do. That's a 18.
All right, with an 18, you can see that it's a very poorly sort of put together sketch page of something that looks a little bit like a lantern. Like you can see how there are like several different sketches on the same page, and they're all kind of like sort of organizing, like someone's just written it down very quickly, obviously, about how to like put the sides together and how you can get the thing to open and close at the front, and there's a sliding thing that blocks out the light and that sort of thing. and you see passages of like quite large chunks of writing that you can't quite see in this light. It's in that same sort of spidery script as is written on the top of Miriam's receipt from earlier. And everyone holds it up and she goes, I don't know what it is. I think it's a blueprint of some sort, but I mean, if you want it, you're more than welcome to have it. It's just sitting around quite literally gathering dust as she picks it up, sort of flicks it.
I mean, if you think it's a blueprint, I might be able to study it or find someone that knows what it is. I'm sure Roger only really keeps things of use, even though this place is a mess. I'm sure there's use for everything in here.
Yes, I know it's a mess. He wouldn't let me come in and clean up, and I'm not about to start now. But no, but by all means, please take it. And she sort of holds it out to you.
Sweet. And I will take it.
Sorry. So it's like race day here, and I'm hearing some real fucked noises coming from the gas station next door, eh? Like, this is something else. I think there's a guy rocking around with like a speaker on his back, and he's playing really loud Hindi music.
Oh god.
Okay, I've got questions, but I don't know if I want answers. Okay, so Erwin gets you guys all set up. She fills up your rucksacks with your supplies and that sort of thing for the road. She does sneak a hunk of smoked pork into your backpack, Zane, with a wink. She sort of, it looks at you, you're a growing boy. So, and as much as I hate to see you leave, I know you're the champions of the realm now, so I shan't be stopping you. Just make sure you come back in one piece, all right?
We'll hold each other together. We promise.
I hope so.
As much as there might be catfights.
She smiles. Ah, very funny from someone who's covered in scales.
Yes, well, at least my scales will go flying, not fluffs.
You see her sort of like grin and shake her head. She goes, well, I hope we never have to come to blows, but if we do, you've seen me fight. I'm sure we can work something out. My brother and I will miss you. Also, if we do see Podvar, we'll send him along the road to Humboldt. Hopefully he can meet you along that way.
Alright.
I understand he was summoned away this morning. I saw him leave, so. I think he's going to see his mother.
Adventure.
Oh, I don't think he'd want to. He looked quite upset to be called away so early. But I shan't keep you any longer. You've got things to do. And don't forget, Miriam is her name. Miriam.
Alright, well, thank you for your help, Erwin. And we'll hopefully, all going well, we'll send out a message with any updates.
Please do. Alright, now Shu, get out. You're wearing your boots and you're ruining my nice floor.
I'd like to just take her hands gently as everybody is scuffling out and just really look at her and say thank you.
She looks back just as intently and she goes, you just promised to come back. I've had too many people walk out that door and not come back.
I know you mayn't be able to keep us, but I assure you we'll be back.
Thank you. Good luck.
And to you.
And she gives you a little wave as you walk out of the kitchen.
Let's get the hell out of here, boys.
Oh yeah.
We got some adventure to do.
We got some adventuring to do.
Come on down here, boy. We gotta go get that gear up there, and we gotta go down here. We gotta go here. We gotta go here. We gotta go. Oh man, don't fall behind. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Up. We go. We go. We go.
Now I to come up on a holler. Did you?
Yeah.
No.
Lainey, go get the hose. Don't make me get the hose.
Ma, get your gun. All right, 1 second, guys. We're just going to load into a different map. 1 moment, pips.
All right, that's enough time for me to go get olives.
Yeah, olives. Olives.
So she can eat them, I'm guessing?
I mean, I would hope so. Alrighty. So, you guys make your way to the southwestern gate this time, which is somewhere you haven't been very much in your time in the city.
What gate are we at? Sorry.
The
Southwestern.
southwestern gate.
Okay.
And this one is the side that's closest to like the docks and that sort of thing. So you know you have the western gate and the western garrison. This is a little bit further south from there, and this is where most of the like shipping and like stock coming in and out of the city come through.
So this is like the freight port area.
This is like the freight port area. So there's like as you guys come out of the gate, like out of the sort of like central city keep gate out a little bit further out to the rest of this part of the town. Just imagine that this is full of people. Like it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's very, very busy. It's packed. There's people hawking stuff on the boats in the central canal. There's people shopping up and down the side. There's people walking around. It's just a hub of activity that's similar to what you guys saw at the night markets the night before. But it's kind of just, you know, people are just busy going about their business.
I think we should just stay out of the way.
Alrighty.
God, people are busy as hell. We ain't gonna be poking any fingers anywhere.
Don't want to get caught up in anything.
Don't want to get accidentally shipped to another island.
Well, yeah, good thing press gangs aren't a thing yet. Okay, no, that's fine. So you guys just make your way a little bit further down to the other side of the gate, or are you wanting to explore? What do you want to do?
I think we should just head on our way.
Yeah, I think this is
It's
an
just-
area that doesn't concern ourselves just yet, and for good reason.
And also Merlin seems pretty intent on this one being very important.
Yeah.
Mission. Especially since it comes to protecting Brigantia.
Yep. All right. So
I have
we'll come back to that. You've got zero vision. Yeah, I don't know why your token
Again.
always has zero vision. It's cooked.
My girl blind as hell. She opened her eyes. That's alright. She just gotta open her eyes. That's all.
Zane's been trying to teach her.
just close them. Just close them.
Hey. Zane's got
Trust me.
nice headgear now. Like he's not out here blind as fuck anymore.
I thought you were about to say Zane just has nice head, and I'm like, bro, what?
Get your mind out of the gutter. You
It's not mine, bro.
goofy ass.
It's not mine that's in the gutter. It's his.
By the way, with that new visor, we didn't specify exactly what it did give me. You said I got it last session, but we never went
Oh yeah,
through.
so basically it's just a visor that stops like water and shit getting in your eyes, so you get a +2 to perception.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Let's
so
do
plus 2 to
perception.
perception and insight.
All right. +2 percept and what's it called?
Perception and
Insight.
insight. Yeah, perception and insight.
Insight.
Can you load, please? Damn. Alright, so you guys walk out of the bustling city centre. And you walk for maybe an hour, a couple of hours. You know, the weather's beautiful. It's in the middle of the day. You know, you've got a purpose. You've got a job to do, essentially. And you come to you've been walking along a fairly well-worn road. There's, the occasional cart passing you at this point. There's people sort of like going about their business as they are wont to do. And as you guys do so, you approach a crossroads in the center of this sort of well-used laneway. What would you like to do?
Are we supposed to be seeing it on the map?
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I forgot I had to activate it. Sorry.
I guess the mind theater.
Theater of the mind. Theater of the mind. No, it's just I always forget I have to activate maps.
Is that a signpost in the middle there?
Yes, it is.
I would like to read it.
All
I
right.
can't read.
All right. You can read, right? We've covered that. You can definitely
Yeah.
read.
I can read. I've got
Okay.
comprehend languages. I hope I can read.
All right. Sure. You can approach the signpost and read it. Roll a perception check at advantage, please.
All right. First one is an 11. Second one is that one went off onto the floor. That's a 12.
Okay. And a 12 plus 3, is it? Or plus anything else?
That's with the edit.
That's what the edit is? Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Also, everyone, Fluffy is in the chat reminding us to stay hydrated. Don't forget, Fluffy, there is a skull button you can use my channel points for. So everyone better have a beverage. Alright, so...
I am being hydrated with olives, so no worries.
That sounds
that's,
so wrong.
that's incorrect.
You
That's
also drinking
incorrect.
a dirty martini?
No, I'm
Using
actually
that
eating
olive
garlic
juice?
no, I'm eating garlic and thyme green olive halves from Woolworths from the special charcuterie
They
section.
are so full of salt. What the fuck? Your arteries are like, mother,
Hydration.
mother.
This is I've actually come off of olives because I was like, that's probably a lot of salt intake. So this is the first olives that I've had in like 2 months. So I'm very proud of myself.
I
But
do
now I'm eating the
recall
whole
you
container.
buying a large jar of olives.
It
Did you
was
So, me
about
as
a kilo of olives that I ate in
a,
about
uh,
2 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
previously playing League of Legends player, I can't intake too much salt. Right? My tolerance for salt is just too high.
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing as we start to age, is the amount of salt that we induce into our own bodies by playing fucking online video games. Don't do it. It's a trap. Okay, so signpost. Yes, you can read that the sign, the post pointing back to where you just came from reads Brigantia, and the other two, one is pointing to the left, and the other is pointing to the right. And you guys have just come from the southwest gate.
Heading southwest.
Heading southwest.
Technically the northeast we would have been heading from.
Facing southwest, so
Facing
the
southwest,
one on the
yeah.
right would be northwest, and the one on no, sorry, my brain's also pointing
Do
around.
any of us know how
The one
compasses
on the
work?
right would be northwest, and the one on the left would be south.
Yep. Northeast, northwest, south, yeah.
Yep.
Or roundabouts.
Roundabout. Alright, so which direction do you guys want to go in?
What are the
What
signs
do the
actually
other
say?
part signs
What
say?
do the other signs say? The other one says like the one on the left says Southern Road, and then in a slightly smaller sign underneath it says the word quarry, and then one on the right says Northern Road, and on the little the little one underneath it says docks.
Probably take the southern road.
The one that says quarry.
The one that says quarry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is a mining town, so I'm assuming
We head
And also
toward
the
rock.
mountains out towards the south as well.
we go the right way. Yeah.
We took the path.
Yes.
The path less travelled.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like quite well travelled, actually. There's obvious signs of it being in use, anyway. So you start to wander off down this country road, next to a little stream that feeds into the tributaries.
Country road, take me home.
I want to drag my hand on the rocks
Ooh.
like when I was a kid, dragging my hand on the metal fences and having it go.
Yeah.
West Virginia.
West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home.
Country
Country
road.
roads. Alrighty. So, as you guys walk on for another couple of hours or so, can I get you all to roll a d20 for me, please?
Can do.
I rolled a 17.
I got a 19, baby.
I got a 15.
Baby.
I got a 19, baby! Alright.
I'm a cowboy, baby.
Don't say that to Luke. Luke will be. I want to be a cowboy, baby.
I wanna be a cowboy, baby!
I got my cowboy hat and my lifted truck, and my wife won't give my kids back home.
But at least I have my guns and my
It's
freedom.
my gun blues. Well, I popped my tire and my kids kicked me in the shins. And I lost all my bullets, and I got no kids.
And I just can't win. Whoa, dunka 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 dunk. It's the cowboy blues. Dunka dunka dunka
We're just
dunk.
listening to
Wow!
Fluffy's like a clip.
Lost all my money to the pokies. Yeah,
Lost all my money to the game of machines. I just can't win, and you know what that means. Oh, it's the cowboy blues. A dunka 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 dunk. It's the cowboy blues.
My dog's whining because it's his dinner time, so I'm just gonna
Okay, yeah, you got time. Don't
serve him
worry.
up.
Well, my dogs don't beat me, and my calves and my ankles, and I can't walk no more, so I got some cankles, man. I sit down too much. Dinner time just can't come fast enough. I tell you what.
It's amazing.
A dunka 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 dunk.
I ain't got no energy for no more tears, and the salt well leaves streaks right to my ears, 'cause I cry so hard it hurts my cheeks, and I don't want no more, 'cause I'm sick of this shit.
Weeks. I ain't slept for weeks, and I'll tell you what.
Thank you so much.
Wait, does the guitar come through?
Yeah, we can hear
It does.
I lost my wife and the kids. That's it.
Well, I lost my wife, and my kids kicked me in the shins.
And I wish God
Okay.
loved me, but I'm full of sins. Well, the holy light, it'll shine on me, but not this week, 'cause I'm drinking too much. Well, I tell you what, it's a sad, sad life for me and my truck. I go from place to place and I ain't find a home, but it's alright, 'cause I got all these hoes on the side of the road I'm picking up, and they're cheap just like the piss that I take right down my throat. Well, it ain't so blue for a cowboy like me.
It's coming from the heart.
Yeah.
Moist,
My face
moist.
actually hurts. Oh, you can't just be out here saying and doing that shit, dude, honestly.
Lol. You can see my puppy's butthole while he's eating.
You could always move
Oh,
your
the little-
camera.
The chucky
it's
starfish, mate.
Well, the chocolate starfish all up in my eyes. It's looking right at me because I'm hypnotized, so I'm a cowboy, baby. Looking at my dog's butthole. Fluffy's like, hang on a minute. Yes, but also no. Jesus fucking Christ. If I get my sound muted for any of that, I'm gonna be so upset. Alright, so you guys walk for a couple of hours. Thankfully, you didn't roll anything. There were no encounters on the table for your total. So these fucking population with some emphasis.
Nemesis.
Emphasis. Great, now I'm a cowboy baby. Like, just in my head. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
They need a cowboy player in Valorant.
Yeah. Better than Cassidy. Alright, so you guys walk for a couple of hours and you approach a set of outbuildings and that sort of thing. Actually, Actually, you guys, I think, come from the outside. Oh, no, you come from inside. That's fine. Alright, so, you guys see what appear to be a bunch of buildings and that sort of thing just on the road here. What would you like to do?
And just walk straight through. Let's explore and see where we are. There's no markings of like the town name or something you're entering, yada yada, or anything like that.
Nope, but as you guys move forward, can I get you to make a perception check, please?
All of us.
Yep, all of you.
Oh, yeah.
I smell trees and I smell trees. 16 plus 3.
I got a 4.
I guess
That is
22 for me.
I got a 19.
Ooh, okay, very good. 1 second, I'm just going to get some... hoping to get some images loaded, but my computer's like, I don't think so.
Oh, my burger's
For
gonna
the
be here
first
a
time in
minute.
forever, Zane is seeing in 4K.
Yeah.
Wait,
Good,
you guys
you
are
know
seeing
what?
this for
You know
free?
what? Good for him. Good for him.
Cataracts gone.
Eyeballs on.
Doggy's finished with his food. No, back to it. All right.
I'm just gonna grab my food and a drink.
Yeah, you got time.
What did he end up ordering?
I think he got a
Burger.
burger, but he got no pickles because he's a baby.
Did he get the mum's burger or did he?
No,
get
he
the,
did not get. No, he did not. He got a something else. I don't know. I don't recall.
Lol.
I've had a pick of my olives. Now I must go for something vinegary and go for my pickled
Ooh.
onions.
Alright, so, with all your perception checks being high enough to actually get some decent vision on this place, you see that this appears to be some sort of logging outpost.
Logging. So not the quarry. This is the wood. Well, Zane don't need any bigger wood. His wood is big enough, so he keep
Yep.
on going through.
Yep. So as you move up, Zane, a couple of the woodsmen who are working near you sort of like, they notice you and they lift up their hands in greeting. And one of them goes, "Alright, mate, you look a bit lost. Where you going?"
And I'm going to say what's it? Humboldt? Humboldt?
Humboldt.
Humboldt.
That's it, Humboldt.
"Oh, well, you're a bit far up the river for that, mate. Do you want to catch a boat down?"
Sure, let's do it.
Alright, well, is it just you, or have you got anyone else with you? Because you're in awfully fancy armour. You one of them adventurers, are you?
Yeah. I've got my party.
So as you say that, and as you walk back down, you see a couple of the woodsmen sort of walk up towards you and come down the steps. These are big, burly men who work the trees and that sort of thing around here. And as you approach them, as they approach you, they sort of like lift their hand and greet, and they go, "All right, guys, your big man here says you need to get down to Humboldt."
Indeed. Do we have safe passage that way from here?
You do, but you're gonna have to take the river instead of walking tracks.
Right. Is there a port or something near Humboldt that we can stop back
You're
to?
looking at it, darling. This is the port closest to Humboldt. We're just gonna, if you need to get down there, fastest way is just chuck you on a wee skiff down the river and off you go.
Let's do it. I love water. Let's go.
That's right.
I'm gonna exchange a glance with Nira and just kind of sheepishly follow along.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna grab him by the ankles and put him over and make him like the boat engine.
Like Incredibles. Like Dancing in the Incredibles, yes.
Honestly, some of the shit you guys, that wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh, yes. Look at that.
Which burger did you
Oh,
Holy
bro.
mate!
get? Is that
That's
the
what-
electrician's one?
Nah,
or-
this one's called Shane. It's got a hash brown and
Shane.
chorizo
Oh,
in
did
it.
you,
Oh.
is that from Bacon Brothers?
Bacon Bros, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I haven't had this in so
yeah,
long.
Nice.
Treating myself.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's D&D night, baby. You get to play Dungeons and Dragons, have burbers, all good. Okay, so the two woodsmen, they sort of like walk you guys along and take you a little bit further down to the shipping section of this little lumber company. And as he walks along in front of you, one of them turns around to look back at you, Zane, and he goes, "You look dead familiar, mate. Are you from Brigantia by chance?"
Yes, I am from Brigantia.
You from the and he clicks his fingers. The garrison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd recognize you there. Me and my boys go up there sometimes for a night out in the piss.
Oh, yeah?
Your captain's a good laugh, that one. She's a funny lady.
Oh, yeah, Lyra.
Yeah, is that her name? Alley
Yeah,
Cat, we
that's
call her. We watched her get into a fight once, it was hilarious. Alright, you come on down with me, love. And he's gonna sort of step down and sort of like wait for you, Aelorith, to put your hand in his as he's gonna help you down the next big step. Sorry, yeah, that's your eating.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
take
it's
the hand.
fine. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so you guys wander across the river just over here.
Mm-hmm.
He helped over. And he's going to take you guys down to the crank lift and lower you down.
Yum.
Yum, yum, yum. You guys, sorry about that, guys. It's a little bit of a mission to get a bit down here this bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop you on a wee boat and we're going to send you down one of these runnels because you get you to Humboldt as quick as nothing. That's where you need to go first, anyway. If that's alright with you lot, of course. Now, we'll warn you, it might be a bit of a bumpy ride. Because remember, you are travelling with logs and that, so...
Hell yeah. Can I
Alright.
mount a log like it's like a what's it called?
Like a
You know
bronco
those
bucking
cow-
bull thing?
yeah, bucking bull, yeah.
Is there any place at the other end to get off? Will there be people to help us get off, or we just
Oh,
have to-
yeah. There's the other end of this camp's down that way.
Ah, okay, that's good.
Yeah, they got one
Sounded
I'm
person.
like
already
you're
on a log.
It sounds like you're just throwing us in a log and telling us to.
Well, I mean, it's not quite a log. We did hollow the middle bit out a bit for, because, you know, some of the other ones do trips like that sometimes too, so. Alright, come along then, and he's going to direct you to, what does look basically like just a log sitting, like, on the top of a little ramp leading down into a swiftly gushing, frothing, like, river. And as he sort of directs you guys over to this one, you see another group of men haul and lift a large log in front of this one and slide it down the ramp, and you watch it just splash into the water and go rushing down the runnel to the camp at the other end. I'm just going to go to the bathroom really quickly, guys. Back in a sec.
Alright. And check if Doggo's finished his food.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Thank you for your patience, boogers. I'm back. So, as I mentioned, you guys are watching this large log being pushed onto the front of this runnel thing, straight down the ramp, and then splashes into the water, and then it carries it down the runway. As you guys watch this thing go down, one of the woodsmen turns around and looks at you and he goes, "Well, I did warn you it was going to be a bumpy ride." So, he sort of rubs his nose. You know, for corporate reasons and that sort of thing, I don't take any responsibility for what happens to you. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, shall we be chucked on a log then?
Yeah. What's your name, Miss?
Ah, I am Kinura.
Oh,
I understand if that's a bit of a mouthful, but do your best and I'll know I am called.
Kinura.
Indeed.
Yeah, you're a bit different than the rest of your friends, aren't you?
Well, that is a rather nice way to put it, I admit. But yes, as you can see, yes.
Yeah, all right. Well, I don't. Sorry, excuse me. Since I've not met someone who looks like you before. You're not from around here, are you? You're not from Avalon, are you?
Well, no. I have been led here, for
Right.
good reason to serve our holy land. Look, I can understand you are unfamiliar with my kind, but I assure you I mean no harm. In fact, I actually am bringing safety to an area around here, not far. Are you familiar with Skellig?
Oh yeah, I think we've got a couple cousins who live there. The reason I ask Miss, is because it's sort of like he bridles a bit and he sort of scratches his head and he looks really uncomfortable and he spits on the ground before he looks at you again and he says, "Had a bit of trouble with them Fae types around here recently, so I just thought I'd double check. And as can I get you to make a perception check, please, Alarith? Sorry,
Yes,
okay.
That's fine.
Like,
13.
Right. With the 13, as you see him sort of bridling in front of you, you look behind him and you see that there's a group of other woodsmen sort of standing nearby looking at you. One of them smoking a pipe and the other one sort of like resting his axe head on the ground with both hands on the pommel sort of looking at you. And there's a couple of other ones who are just sort of like standing back looking at you warily as well. Like, you get the sense that if you were to act up in any way, you would be very swiftly put down. As the first woodsman who spoke to you sort of looks back at you and says, "I've had a bit of trouble with them fade types around this way, so I wanted to make sure that me and my crew are safe. I didn't mean any offense by it."
I can assure you I am not offended. I'd actually like to approach him and extend my hand, and as I'm saying that, doing that, sorry, I'd like to say, I am here on the goodwill.
As you approach him, Kinura, he takes a step back and lifts his hands up and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Sorry, I'm here to help you on your way, and that's about it." As you can see, again, no offense, miss, but the sooner you're on your way, the better.
Hold up, what's happening?
They're scared of me, is what's going on. They're being racist.
they're racist.
Does my dragon friend frighten you guys?
No, not frightened, mate. Not frightened. Just a bit wary about it is all. I was just saying to your friend here that we've had a few issues with them Fae folks around here recently. So my crew and I are a bit...
Like what?
Well, be honest. We had a fire in our village a couple of days ago. That makes anyone who works with the trees nervous. Been a few folk going missing. A few things
Have you
not...
filed any reports? Police reports? Anything?
Well, we
any-
file a police report, mate. We're so far away from Brigantia, it doesn't matter. They never come out to see us anyway. We're only here for a short time, not for a good time. I did mention it to your captain Alera, but she said she'd look into it, and I've not seen her to her nor ever since.
Alright, well maybe I can check with her when I get back and see if there was anything done in regards to that.
Yeah, well, I won't hold my breath. Anyway, best you get on your way then. Let's get back to work, eh?
Alrighty, let's just
Can
get
I
on our log.
spin on the ground beside him? Turn around. Be on my way.
Make an intimidation check, Kinura.
Ooh.
I got an 11.
He doesn't see you spit on the ground because he's already turned on his heel and walked away, but there is a faint sizzle as your acidic spit makes contact with the wet earth. And you see the group of men who are standing behind him sidle a little bit and look at you. And there's one kid who's scrawny, wearing clothes far too big for him, pale of face, blonde of hair, covered in freckles. And he says, well, I'll get in that canoe and then I'll give you a push and you can be on your way down the river then. Does that sound good? Okay, come on, follow me, please. And he sort of directs you over to this hollowed out log that's been slid up onto the ramp. Ready to go.
Bitch, I'm taking over this land yet next.
If you want to tango,
Out of spite, if you want to tango.
If you want to tango, I'm down to tango. Zane is always down
you
to
want
tango.
the bumba? You want the big with the big boys?
Yeah.
You don't disrespect my friend like that.
Yeah, as soon as I heard the little bit of racism, I'm like, hold the fuck up. What the fuck happening here?
Huh? Who said that, huh?
Huh? You work with trees and couldn't put out a fire. What good are you?
Do I look like a fire-breathing dragon to you, mate?
Well, it's fun. They didn't ask. So probably.
All dragons are fire breathing to these common folk.
Yeah, there's casual racism of just assuming that all dragons breathe fire. It's not your fault they're uncultured.
Yeah, well, they better be cultured, I swear to God.
How about we release the greatest evil of this land, save them from them?
Yeah, can we, like, unlock, like, the hound
Is there,
cages
like,
and then round them back up again and stuff?
Is there like a dead dragon in these parts?
Just the line, can we unleash the greatest evil known to Avalon and then save them from it?
Yeah.
Just on this town, on this singular town.
Now you want to buy
specifically.
me a drink at the pub. Oh, all
Oh,
right.
I see how it is. I saved you and your family, and now you want to buy me a drink. Convenient. I'll have 6 shots of whiskey, please.
Yeah, because it's on your tab.
How about
Please,
you just give me the pub, eh?
Please, I have a lot of sorrows I need to drown.
Okay, you guys.
As we're walking away, I'm going to use Mage Hand to tap him on the shoulder, then make it disappear. So
Are you actually going to do that?
I want to do that. Yes.
Okay.
As I
Make
know-
a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. Which one's that? Oh, that's dexterity. I like those ones. That's a 13 plus 4, 17.
Your mage hand goes to tap him on the shoulder, and he looks around and he sees you, Aelorith, just finishing these summoning motions with your hand for your mage hand. And he goes, "What the bloody hell is that? Oi!" And you see him come sprinting over to you.
Oh
Boom,
yeah,
boom,
she was
boom,
just
boom.
doing sign language to me. Sometimes I can't hear through my left ear.
Make a deception check, Zane.
And that would be a 17.
He bundles you up and grabs you by the front of your jerkin and is lifting you up and kind of yelling in your face, asking what that was
Lifting
about.
who? Ellerith or me?
You.
Me.
You.
Me?
Yeah, because
all right,
you were the
all
one who
right.
spoke to him last. But with a 17, he lets you go and puts you back down and he says, "Alright, well, no more of that funny business. Be on your way before we have a problem."
Can I, like, stare into his soul and, like, hiss at him or some shit? Like, really, really, if he's gonna be racist towards me, I'm gonna fuck him
Yeah,
up.
make another
like,
intimidation
brain-wise.
check.
Damn! Okay.
Can I help her with this? Because
No, you
I'm
can't.
a little bit pissed off.
No, you
right
can't.
I got a
now.
19.
Oh, all right.
As you stare into his eyes, Kinura, with a 19, and you open your mouth and your long tongue flicks between your teeth, you see him go a bit pale and take a step back from you and from Zane. He says, "I don't... Look. Just go, please. Me and my crew have had enough to deal with. Please just be on your way. We can let water pass under the bridge. Be bygones, eh? I'm sorry.
And with that, can I do an athletic, like, backflip onto a log?
No
We gotta make an exit, baby. We gotta make an exit.
Okay, make an athletics check, please, for me, Zane.
It's a 19 plus 5, so that's a 24.
Somehow,
Still got it!
somehow, you are able to. It looks like you're about to take a step. It looks like you're about to take a step towards him, and he flinches back from you a little bit. But you're actually just using that pressure to kick off your back foot and do a backflip into this boat, and you just pull the finger at him from behind as the other two file in, and this man stomps up onto the wooden dock and takes his foot and shoves you guys into the water. You enter with a resounding splash. You're all soaked, but before you can come up for air, you are rushing down the causeway towards Humboldt.
How far is this campsite from Humboldt?
About 6.5 hours.
On log.
On log? Yeah.
The rest of it by a sophisticated tree climb.
Alright, I'll get you guys to roll some more d20s for me, please.
Mm-hmm. I rolled a 7.
15 for me.
13 for Aelorith.
Okay. That's alright. I put you guys over the DC. There is no encounter, but it is starting to get dark now. So you guys are basically going to have to spend a night on the log.
Oh.
Or stay up and have no rest for tomorrow. It's your call.
I only need 4 hours rest. So I can have a quick rest and then the others can sleep through the night while I stay up and tend.
Alright, tend to the log, make sure it doesn't
Tend to the log.
capsize. Okay. Alright, so, you guys managed to...
My internet cut out. I missed all of that. But
You guys managed to stay roughly afloat for most of it. There are a couple of times where it dips down underneath the water. But it doesn't interrupt your rests too much. It just sort of like dips in, covers you in water, and then carries on again. There is constant jostling from other logs and that sort of thing down the runnel. But you managed to make it to the dockside in Humboldt by roughly 6 a.m. the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's safe to say you're not feeling fresh, you're not feeling funky. On 1 second, I just gotta configure something.
For some reason,
Mm-hmm.
when I lost my internet,
Mm-hmm.
Zane is now permanently logged in, and I cannot log in as him anymore.
That happened to me earlier. You just kind of have to wait for it to time out.
Well, I'm manually kicking him, but apparently, even after I manually kick him, he rejoins again. So...
What do you mean? Like the admin's DM or admin GM or
So
like?
I've logged in as admin. I'm kicking Zane. Zane is no longer in the list, and there's a message that says Zane has been kicked from the world. I then log out, try logging in as Zane, but Zane is still grayed out. And then
Weird.
if I refresh the tab, Zane is still there. So I can't even kick him even as admin. So
Yeah, that's
too powerful.
too
it's
powerful.
just bugged. Yes, too powerful. So I just wait until he times out, I guess. watch your stream
Mhm.
to know what's happening.
Oh, I'll tell you. It's all good.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So. See, that's better. Okay. Alright, so you guys managed to make it down the river in your bumpy little log canoe. Very Davy Crockett of you, but you've managed to make it. And you come up against some rocks and that sort of thing as you guys approach, and you feel your canoe being hooked out of the water. By some very burly logsmen. And they pull you up and they say, "Oh, all right there, team. Have we come down from the other mining camp? Have we? Sorry, logging camp. Slip of the tongue.
Yup.
All right, well, come on up here. Get you dry. It's been a while since we've had someone come down in the old sleigh limb. We call it the Hallelujah Highway."
You guys got a pub down here?
No, but we do have a warm fire and some food in the stew pot if you'd like some.
Fuck
Sounds
yeah.
delightful.
Alright, so these guys are helping you out of this log canoe. And as they do so, you see a much more comfortable looking camp on this side, which looks a little bit more like permanent. There's a few more things built in. The cabins look roughly like habitable compared to some of the hovels that you were seeing on the other end.
Do we notice any like stink eye? Like
Yeah,
crappy woods?
how?
Make a perception check for me, guys.
Perception.
We were
I get
making
plus
separate
2 to
ones?
that?
Yeah, make
Yeah,
separate
boy.
ones.
17.
I got a 17.
Nice.
Yes, a
I
17.
rolled a 16.
Alright, so those are all high enough to pass the DC. So, they pull Zane and Aelarith up with no issues. But when the same man reaches down to grab your hand, Kinura, and he sees that it's covered in scales and has claws on the end, he hesitates for just a fraction of a second. But then he grasps you firmly by the hand and pulls you up, dusts you off, and gets you sat down next to the fire, just like the other two.
Alright, I'm okay with it. That's alright. No bad teeth. I'm gonna try and keep my face gentle and be calm and be collected.
Oh, that's right, Kinura. We gotta update your character art, bud.
Yeah, 'cause I don't look that human anymore.
No, you don't look that human anymore at all.
You crazy.
That's alright, we'll do that for next session. Okay, so he takes you guys over, gets you sat down in front of the fire. And as you see the same man who pulled you up come over and walk towards you guys, you see that the other ones who gave him a hand up are still pulling up the logs and that sort of thing that came down the causeway with you. So they've just gone back to work, but the one who's sort of taking care of you guys sits you all down. He starts ladling out bowls of like a thin sort of brown looking stew out of the pot next to the fire. He hands each one to all of you. And he says, "I know it's not much, but it's hot and it's edible." So
Can I pull my lamb chunk that Erwin snuck in for me and like dip it in the hot stew to heat up the meat?
I mean, yeah,
Like
you
that,
can.
like,
Yeah, you can if
I
you want.
see it.
Yeah.
And go town on this meat.
You're not gonna share, or?
I was gonna say, can I like side eye him? Like, are we getting a slice? Or like, what's going on, homie? Like,
I
what's
want
going
to
on?
chop maybe like 1/4. I want to chop it into like 1/4. I want to eat 2/4, and I want to give Ellerith 1/4 and Kisnira 1/4.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
that's sharing. That's fair enough.
That's,
That's fair.
that is,
Like, I
that
like
is
that.
caring because it is
That
sharing.
is caring.
Big growing man, you need more meat than us.
It's alright. We're just lithe
We're
little
so
ladies over
dainty
here withering
girls.
away. Oh. Can't you see my gaunt face and my bone structure everywhere? Like,
That's
oh,
because you're a
I'm
dragon, Kinura. That's why your cheekbones are so excellent. Like, stop making fun of him.
I've already simped once today.
Damn. No more simping for Kinura. Unless we all simp for Kinura.
I mean,
Always do.
I don't want Zane to simp, but I don't know. How would you interact with someone making fun of your friend or not treating your friend right.
Probably not
No.
well. Probably not well.
Nah.
All right. So as this guy gets you
You're
all
gonna
set
call him
down,
vermin in a second.
bravo. Okay, so as you guys all get sat down, you've got hot soup in front of you. This miner sort of takes a seat next to you and he pulls up a bowl and he sort of starts eating and he looks at all of you. He sort of gives you a very like keen look for a couple of seconds and he stops eating. He takes a spoon away from his mouth and he looks at the three of you and he goes, "You're some of them adventuring types, aren't you?"
Well, originally I was from the garrison, but yeah.
Yeah. What brings you down Humboldt ways anyway?
There's some caves that we want to look at. Apparently lots of people have been going missing down there. So we're going to give it a quick squiz.
Oh, you
We've
wanna...
we've been sent on behalf of High Magus Merlin. That
Well,
is
that
what we
old
are here
windbag's
for.
still holding court, is he?
He is indeed.
I know, right?
Somehow.
Yeah, well...
We're also looking for someone called Miriam. We have a delivery for her.
Oh, you're after the old midwife, eh?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
expecting. Yeah.
Zane's rubbing his belly.
Yeah.
I'm having a good meal.
Gotta pop the belt open.
Yeah.
Undo the bottom plates of his armor so his belly can hang out.
Yeah.
Well, this woodsman sort of looks at you and he goes, "I've never met her myself, but my wife has. She lives in the roundhouse in the center of town, the little one, not the big one.
Oh yeah.
But just, I'm sorry to ask, and I don't mean to be rude, but you lot don't do any of that magic stuff, do you?" And he sort of twinkles his fingers. Like, magic stuff?
Can I twinkle my
asking me
fingers
for
back?
drugs?
Yeah, can we all just like mock him and like twiggle our fingers at him like,
I'm gonna twinkle my fingers back.
Make
and I'm
make
gonna
charisma
use a
saving
tiny-
throws, all three of you.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna
I'll
use
be
a
right
tiny
back.
bit of prestidigitation to do some sparkles as well.
By the way, you get plus 30 charisma saving throws.
How much?
Plus two,
Plus
because
two.
we're in the presence of you.
Exactly.
28.
Oh my god. In
I got
that
an
case,
18.
you got a what?
Oh, I got a 25.
I got a 28.
Well, with your plus 2 added on, I'll have a 16, so I'm sure we'll all be
Hell
fine.
yeah.
We'll all pass.
Oh, I was actually gonna like make sparkles in my hands when I did that.
I think 28. I think
We're trying to
28 is going to
Pick
be a
a
good one.
fight with every motherfucker that looks at us sideways, eh?
Exactly.
We just got a fucking dragon. Who the fuck are you? Coming at me like that. You call me vermin? You calling me vermin?
Are you calling me vermin? You want to take that back, huh?
You know what the last thing that called us vermin?
Yeah, elder fucking dragon. Now he dead, nah?
Who's the vermin now, my boy, eh?
Just gonna like stick my fingers up like that, making horns.
Ooh.
My wife says I got a magic dick. You want me to show you? Got him good.
Alright, hang on. Question of the century. Trolley lolly worms. Which is your favorite? The green and orange, the blue and pink,
Ooh, blue and
or the
pink,
red and the
blue
yellow?
pink.
Red, blue, and pink.
pink.
You're a
Blue
blue
and
and pink
pink, blue and
man?
pink.
Yep,
Yep,
good,
yep,
good
yep.
choice, good choice, good
Sorry about
choice.
that, guys. I really had to pee. So where do we get on those charisma saving throws?
So I got 25.
What the fuck?
So I got a 14, but plus 2 from Zane is a 16.
I got a 19 plus 7 plus 2.
Ooh.
Okay, so he's not offended by you guys doing this. There's some magic shit, yeah?
I mean, some of the women that I've met with say I got a magic appendage, but other than that, nah. I'm
Why
good.
is Zane Greek all of a sudden? Fucking-
He's losing touch with reality.
yes. Yeah, I think we all
Is that
are
a side
little bit.
effect of being a cool dude? Is that he slowly goes insane?
He's got a real bad case of cool dude-itis.
No, you know how
Side
have you watched
effects.
The
Losing
Matrix?
touch with reality. I watched it when I was like a kid, so no, I haven't watched it consciously, but I was in the
Alright.
presence
Do
of
you-
the
do you at
movie.
least know what happens if someone just gets like ejected out of the Matrix, like all of a sudden?
They can't like understand what the fuck's going on or something.
Yeah, most likely they die. So imagine Zane was in the Matrix, and then all of a sudden got thrown into another Matrix and unplugged, and then fucking replugged in again. He's fucking been pulled to so many different realities in the shortest period of time.
He's not
His
okay.
brain is
He's
like,
not okay.
nah.
Sigma male. Sigma male. Shrigma. Classic Shrek,
Shrigma?
baby. Shrigma.
Shrek.
It is in my swamp.
Alright, so this guy's not offended by you guys doing ooh magic shit back at him, but he still looks at you and he says, "Yeah, well, if you are, I might recommend keeping wraps on that. They don't take too kindly to that down at Humboldt. They're very rocks and stones kind of folk down there. They don't trust anything.
Rock and stone.
They don't trust anything they can't see or can't feel or can't beat with a hammer. So,
Right, well, the warning is very much appreciated. Thank you.
yeah, you might want to Sorry, love. I don't mean to be rude, but you might want to. Is there any way you can adjust these sort of gestures at his face? This kind of situation.
Are you saying my friend need glasses?
Well, so I
was she,
must ask,
Clark Kent?
how much can you change that there then? Because I think the answer to yours is the answer to mine.
Oh, not much. So.
I mean, if you look at it from the side, right?
The only reason I asked Owen is because, well, I know from speaking for myself, you're the first one of your kind that I've spoken to, and your accent's clearly not from Avalon. So I imagine you're not from here, but they're a bit wary about your kind of folk out that way.
Well, do you think Miriam is somebody who could possibly help me with that? I
can
mean,
I-
I'm sure
can-
if I just wrap up, they'd be much more happy not knowing exactly what's going underneath than
Can I
knowing.
pull out my old, like, hood/cloak made from, like, Ettercap hide? Ettercap? Or
Yep,
face
it was
spider? I
Ettercap.
think it was face spider.
Okay.
Ettercap? Alright,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was etiquette.
And, like, pull that out, because it clearly does not fit me anymore. Can I give it to Kisnura?
Yes, of course you can give it to Kiznura.
And then, get her to wrap herself in it, and then ask our kind fellow over there if, this is better. Does that help?
Well,
Could I make
Yeah.
it so it only reveals my eyes and be like I have a disease or something like that?
I'm pretty sure it's phase spider leather. Yeah, I used the phase spider leather.
Yeah,
it
'cause didn't you
was,
skin the
1
abdomen or
by
something?
1.5
Yeah, you did.
meters of phase spider. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was hoping to make it more like.
yep. So
Stealthy.
can I get you guys to make some It'll be deception checks, because basically what you're asking
Okay.
is to see whether or not Kinyura looks less like a dragon and more like a leper than previously.
Ah, yes, I am diseased, not
Ah.
foreign.
I rolled a 12 plus 2. That's a 14.
Okay, Kinyura.
Rolled a 14 plus.
I rolled a 3, but plus 2 because that's from charisma.
It's not.
so
Yeah,
like
it's not really. It's not really too
5.
much of an issue for you, Kinyura, because you're the one like being looked at.
Yeah.
But with the other ones rolling high enough, this gentleman who's sort of looking at you, sort of wrap it around your face, he goes, "Yeah, that should do. Just don't let anyone get too close to you. Should be right. I think. I hope."
Well,
But, yeah. Well, I mean, if you go and see
guess.
Miriam, she might have something for it, like a cream of some sort. I don't know. That's woman stuff.
Her
That is. I don't
creams
go
are
near it.
magical.
I don't know, mate. She does all sorts in that little oval of hers. She's lucky they don't call her a witch and cast her out, is all I'm saying.
I mean, doesn't everyone like at least know that she's the one that's helped with giving birth of their children?
Yeah, but them women, they're up to all sorts in there. Look, the things best left unseen and unspoken of, as far as I'm concerned. Outside, out mind. But
Right,
it's
well,
probably a better
I
idea for you to wrap
appreciate
up
that.
and not get attacked in the street. Is all I'm
My mum
saying.
used to say that. Yeah, whenever I brought anyone back home. Yeah, better to wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him.
I will
All right,
end
let's-
the session.
let's head over to the Miriam.
Ah, yes, the Miriam. Where is
Miriam.
he?
Miriam. All right, so he sends you on your way with a little wave, and like a, well, good luck then, be careful kind of thing. And you guys walk for another couple of hours, in your slightly dry but more soggy, squishy boots.
Zane's loving it.
Zane's just having a grand old time. Okay. And as you guys approach the main street of Humboldt, you see it's sort of getting towards like mid-afternoon now, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Skies are getting a little bit darker. It's starting to get a bit cold. Let me actually just turn... So just so you guys can see everything here. This is the town. I have not populated this because I did not have time today, but just imagine it has the same sort of level of busyness as the woodworking stations that you've been to before. Like, there's not heaps of people around, but there's a few sort of, you know, pottering about, doing regular people stuff, regular people things. Definitely all humans, no tentacles here.
Aw, man.
Dang.
Well, no fun in the sheets tonight, boys.
Yeah,
That's how
dang!
we go.
Boom!
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here, man.
Let's fucking blow this pups out. I'm not interested if there's not like multiple tentacles.
Yeah, at least 12 at a time.
Oh,
Have you got that many holes? Or are you just very stretchy?
I'll
We can
find
make
them.
some.
Did I say it was one for each hole?
This session is very chaotic and I'm living for it. We've had cowboys, we've had tentacles. I don't know what's going to happen next. You guys keep
Now let's
living
mix
on
them
the
all
edge.
together.
Well-
I misplaced my bad dragon, and now my wife, well,
So
she ain't having
there's
it.
active economy, right, during a fight while we're in a fucking a fight, right? But how does sex economy work? Do I use my attacks?
Is it initiative? Do we roll to hit?
It's all,
Roll
you
to
roll
hit.
the hit, you roll the hit, but you use your constitution as your modifier.
Because I mean, I got 2 attacks as my main action, and I got an
Two
offhand attack as well. Yeah, bruv. So does that mean 3 thrusts per action economy? Let's go.
3 thrusts per action
These are
economy.
action economy.
I've got a reaction if she misses as well. I get a free attack.
I want to go home.
Where is that in the D&D rulebook? I don't remember reading past that
There
book.
is actually Wizards of the Coast, like sexy time edition, where they like talk about like pregnancy and breeding and that sort of thing. It's super wild. It's super wild.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's
Imagine
pretty-
like role playing that.
Let's not.
That'd be
Let's
so
not do
awkward.
that.
Oh my goodness!
Unfortunately, you rolled below a 5, so you miss entirely, and she looks at you with a stink eye.
it in
I
a
got a
body,
second attack.
Can I get you to roll a Constitution save for erectile dysfunction and or premature ejaculation?
Can you roll a dexterity check for putting on the condom, right?
Oh.
Bro, how'd you put it on backwards? I don't even backwards.
I don't use the condom. I use a hide. I wrap that motherfucker and tie it up.
They actually used sheep and pig gut for that. back
Oh,
in the day.
really?
Yep.
Jesus, didn't even know that.
Roll
Alright.
for bacon flavor.
Welcome to Liquor Witch's Sex Education, brought to you by Dungeons and Dragons. First of all, establish enthusiastic consent. Alright,
Next,
so-
instead of buying sausages, just buy the stuff that they
Buy
put
the sausage
in.
skins.
Yeah, that's it.
Stop. 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 Okay, so you guys have managed to make it to Humboldt. What would you like to do now that you're here? You're not allowed to fuck anything, just to make that very clear from the
Oh
off.
man.
I'm a bard.
I
What
want
am I
to
supposed
walk
do
up to the
now?
nearest person and go, my wife's expecting, where's the midwife?
Aelith, do shove a convenient bundle of something up your dress to make you look like you're a pregante?
No, I'm pulling Kisnura because she's wrapped in a cloak, right? Yeah. So since she's all fully like wrapped up, I'm gonna like covering her with my body and like moving her.
Okay, just go and take a quick break, have a cold shower. Or something. I'm just gonna populate the map quickly. I'll be right back, guys. Stream system. Pause.
The government has decided on a limit, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm on that limit, I cannot have any supplementary medication. Yet, if I'm on, you know, the one below, I can still have the supplementary one, and I can take 4 more of the supplementary ones with. It doesn't make sense. Like I can overdose from like on the legal limit, not actually like OD,
Yeah.
right? Like go over the dose that is legally allowed,
Yeah.
right? If I'm on the
combination, yeah.
long-lasting one that is 1 below the maximum. How the fuck does that make sense?
It doesn't, but the stream's back up now, so we should probably stop talking about the stuff that we take to make our brains work correctly. But yeah, so apologies if I lose the trail of stuff and am not doing so flash hot. Session might be a little bit shorter.
That's all right. We appreciate what we get.
Yeah, but it just means next week's one is going to be fucking stellar, because I'm going to have time to prep, I'm going to have time to get stuff built, and like it's going to be like a big thumbs up fun time kind of one. So we'll just get you guys here into Humboldt, we'll get you established, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so moving back on, we are in Humboldt. You guys have just come in through the main gate. You've been waved through by the surly looking guards at the front. They don't even check your IDs or anything, they just wave you in. I have populated the map with some NPCs. There is one here with a dope rack.
Where is she?
Oh, homage.
Dope
Oh!
rack! Damn!
Those aren't melons, those are fucking rocket launchers.
those aren't melons!
Those aren't melons, those are rocket launchers.
So, my loves, what would you like to do now that you're here in Humboldt?
Are we gonna do the thing where I'm wrapped up in pregnant and possibly angry and you're going, my wife! Where is Miriam?
My wife!
My life.
My wife!
My wife.
Yeah, you're gonna walk up to the nearest person and go, my wife's
Who
expecting.
does
We're
conveniently
gonna
want him to
do-
be the NPC with the giant knockers.
Yeah, that's it.
The big old
Okay.
bees.
Them tig old bitties.
Just ask where is Miriam and very pointedly stare at titties and like be like, where is she? Tell me, you two, tell me.
Where is
Talking-
Tidium? I
talking
mean
to the
Miriam. I
tits.
mean Tidium.
Get
I mean
directly to
Miriam.
the tits.
Take me to the tits. Take me to the tits.
I demand
I
it.
demand you take me to the tits.
Are you a wet nurse? No, wait, what?
Oh my
Do
god.
you want to be?
Do you want to be?
I pay good for the hour.
Oh.
Okay, so explain to me what
Alright,
happens as you approach this buxom young woman.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna ask for the midwife. Where's the midwife?
She sort of turns around, she looks at you, she looks you up and down, she says, the midwife? Do you mean Mistress Miriam?
If that's her name, then sure.
Yes, I know where she is. Why do you need her? You're a man?
I'm gonna point at the wrapped figure right beside me, going, "My wife's expecting."
What? Your wife's expecting a plague of some sort? I'm only joking, darling. I'll take you over to her. Come with me.
There was some close blades right there, baby.
Yeah,
Ooh,
bro, I was
mate.
about to like unsheath.
Your talons were harvested.
Unsheath
I'm
my
s-
cock! Take me to the tits!
Bro, every enemy I've slain, I've skinned. You ain't gonna be any different.
Oh.
I can stuff those tits and mount them on the
Those
wall,
tits on a
baby.
I'm gonna put your rack on a rack.
They're registered weapons, baby.
Alrighty.
Okay.
And we get taken to...
She walks you through the center of town,
Yeah.
to... Which building is it?
You said the smaller one in the
Small round
center.
one.
Yeah, so it's this one.
Oh yes, the well.
No, it's not
That's
the
not
well.
a well.
I meant
That's the well.
round. I said
Pumpkin.
round. I said round. I didn't mean round.
Do we go inside the pumpkin?
No.
What, you Cinderella or something?
What are you, fucking Cinderella or something? Take me to the tits. And she leads you into like a small sort of waiting room, sort of corridor thing, just out the front of this house. You see there's a large heavy oak door with 2 thick bands of iron. There's a couple of people standing in front of it. This buxom young woman sort of shoulders her way past one of the other women and pushes her out of the way and knocks on the door. Miriam! Miriam, it's Kara. Open up, let me in. I've got a customer for you. And she sort of like waits as there's silence and no response on the other end. She sort of turns around and looks at you, Zane, and goes, and flicks her hair and then knocks on the door again. Miriam! Miriam, I'm coming in! And she
Zane
pushes...
is twitching to either pick lock it or kick the door in.
He's
He's
got-
like twitching.
Zane's like trying to not have a stroke. Quite on both counts. On both counts.
Get that drool in your mouth,
And she,
boy.
Kara pushes open the door and she struts inside with her bounteous booty swaying in front of you, Zane. Make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, I love those. So that's a 19 plus 7, that's a 26.
Alright, so you don't pop a boner and come all in your pants. Good for you.
I choose to fail.
I choose to fail. I volunteer as tribute. What is going on?
Hey,
I can't
I
understand.
can have sex with as many women as I want. I'm immune to diseases.
Jesus Christ.
My boy, you are not immune to love. You will fall in love with one of them.
You
I
are not
can assure
immune
you.
to love.
No. You are not immune to propaganda. That's my
You're not
favorite
immune.
Garfield meme ever.
Oh my goodness.
What does Garfield have to do with propaganda unless it's like the lasagna propaganda?
Please, have you seen that?
No.
You are not.
Oh!
Yeah, Bruce is in the chat like, damn. Damn. Sorry, dude. You have come along to a very chaotic session on the Tides of Avalon today. There has been all sorts of shit going on. It's
I will
kinda
DM
wild.
it. I will DM it to you because that is the fastest way.
Is it spicy? How spicy?
It's just funny. It's funny and weird and just unexpected, and I just love his face. His face is just got a like shit-eating sort of grin on him, and it's just you are not immune to propaganda. That's all the context you get. That's it.
That's excellent.
It's so good.
I love it. I don't know why I love it, but I love it.
It's so good.
Okay, moving on. You guys enter the foyer of a room that looks a little bit like some sort of like... Actually, I'm going to get you guys to make perception checks to see if you can figure out what it looks like. Can I get all 3 of you to roll perception, please?
Yep. I got a
It's
15.
Sexual health clinic.
13 from me.
I got a 19.
All right, Zane, you're the one who picks up on it because I think you may be the one who's spent the most time in them. But on
What?
first impressions, it looks like a comfortable, well-lit, spacious room with a fire roaring in the corner, lots of like red chintz on the sofas and that sort of thing. But you do notice something that is the standard in every single brothel in every single place you've been to, and that is the long, shimmering hanging curtains dividing off parts of the room. As you walk in and you recognize this for what it is. This, my friends, is the first Brigantian whorehouse you've set foot in.
Oh,
Well, it's first for
Fuck
everything.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Zane's like, yeah! Take me to the tits!
She actually took us to the tits. I can't believe
She
it.
actually took him to the tits. Alright, so as you guys walk in, this young woman flounces off into a back room, and she, as you follow in behind her, she sort of like does a very dismissive little motion with her hands that you guys recognize, saying, sit down, sit down. I'll go and get her. I'll be back in a moment. As she flounces up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys take a seat in here at all?
I'll just stand
I'll
up.
remain
I don't know
I'll
what's
stand.
on these
Yeah.
seats.
I'll stand! Make perception checks for me here, guys.
And boom. I rolled an 11 plus 3.
Natty
That is
20.
a 14.
There's a nat
That's a
20 for you,
17 for
Alarith.
me.
Yes.
Alright, Alarith, with your nat 20, you can sense that there have been a lot of uses of prestidigitation on these couches. But that does mean they are clean. So you can
Okay.
sit down if you want to. It's just like you know how when there's been like a
Shimmer of
step
magic.
like a step that gets stepped on so much that there's like a little worn divot in the middle. It's like that, but for the use of prestidigitation. Like there's a hum or a kind of like, it's not quite a smell, but it's like a sensation of the spell has been cast so many times. It's almost like it would cast itself by itself without anyone having to do it at this point.
Oh, self-cleaning couches.
Hey man, if you could, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a note that we do not shame sex workers in this chat.
No.
We'll just shame the chairs.
We support them financially.
I know Zane said he wasn't going to simp for the rest of the game, but I'm out here to prove him wrong.
It's not simping, it's supporting
I took
sex
that
workers.
personally.
I mean, a win's a win. If we're both winning, double the winning.
Double the women, double the winning. Well... All right, so you got it's actually a nice room. Like there's a nice smell of like lilies or something in the background. It's nice and
Whore
warm.
flower. Sorry.
Just to be clear to those of you in the chat, she is a cleric. So if one was going to have hang-ups about being in a brothel, it would probably be her. But yeah, so you guys are in the middle of this lovely foyer. I don't want to say waiting room because that makes it sound a little bit transactional, but I suppose it is. Of this house of plaisir, as one would say. The big heavy oak door closes behind you. The room itself is not like gross. It doesn't smell bad. It's just like a very nice, very large, comfortable lounge. There's some soft trickling of some water from a water feature in the corner. Smell of lilies. There's bottles and bottles of wine all along one back wall. There's one young woman who's like kind of sitting by herself. You can only kind of see half of her body as she's sitting with her back towards you on one of the love seats looking out the wide bay window at the front. But there's no one else in here aside from you at the moment.
But there's no tits out.
As I said, you can only see half of her body. So
Top
Which
half
half?
or the bottom half?
Yeah.
you can see one, like, okay, so imagine you can see her arm and her leg on the love seat, and like the side profile of her face, but you can't see much more than that.
Scandalous ankles.
And as you guys are waiting there, standing around awkwardly, you see Kara come back down the steps, and she's trailing behind her another woman who comes down the stairs in a manner that's why are you so fucking humongous?
Big dude!
All you want to do is see me turn into a giant woman.
A giant woman.
All I want to be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. And yeah, she's
And her tits.
and
My apologies. Please continue.
ADHD and D.
yeah.
We have broken liquor.
So, is there a warranty or like, do we got a receipt?
Okay.
And scene.
Swear to God, if one more person says tits, I'm gonna lose it. Okay. Yeah, so Kara comes down the stairs and she's trailing behind her a woman who's a little bit older, but just as beautiful, if not more so. And she's clad in sort of this striking white sort of over chemise, on top of some blue harem trousers. She's not wearing any shoes. But as she comes down the stairs, there's a very measured sort of intent to her steps as she comes down to greet you. And as she does so, she sort of lifts her hand away from the edge of the banister of the stairs as she comes down, and she raises it to wave at you, Zane, before turning around and catching sight of Aelirith and Kinura, and she sort of like pulls her hand back and drops it. And you see a sort of change come over her a little bit. She was going in all coquettish and flirty, and now she's just all business. as she sort of takes sight of the three of you and comes down the steps, and she says, "Welcome to the Gilded Lily. My name is Miriam. How can I help you?"
I believe we've got a package for you.
She sort of looks at you, Zane, looks you up and down, then raises her eyebrows, and she says, "Maybe that one can wait, darling. I meant, what can I do for you in terms of assistance? You don't come here to the Lily without asking for assistance. In some way, shape, or form."
I want to look towards Kishjira and Ellerith to help me out.
Help me,
I'm just
there's
gonna
a
grab,
lady!
So, like,
no,
is
he's
the- is the-
serious.
is
we
the-
actually do have a delivery for you.
Yeah, we
Is the package over Zane's like shoulder, like on his back? Can I
Yeah.
just grab his shoulders and like turn him around and point to it, like very pointedly?
And she sort of goes, of course, my mistake. I'm sorry. Clearly there's been some sort of misunderstanding. Thank you. Is that, sorry, young man. Do you mind if I just going to reach underneath the straps and pull it off your shoulders, Zane? Make a charisma saving throw. I'm gonna go pee.
Do you motorboat the tits?
She's from
I rolled a
behind you.
19 plus 7. That's another 26.
Are these
like-
ones you want to be passing?
Well, I don't know, but my charisma is just fucking freakishly high, so...
Maybe you can get a cheeky like motorboat, and she'll be just laugh at it like,
I'll
you
got a
cheeky
package
little
for you,
son.
love. I'm gonna ask her for work. Do you got any work around here? You know? Yeah.
I'm sure there's some lonely ladies around here,
Yeah, exactly.
baby.
I'm well maintained. I got
We
a good
got some-
pedigree, yeah.
Oh, we got some lonely wives around here that need a good, you know, good fixing.
Good, strong man.
No, there's this new thing coming about called cuckold. Yeah. Man's wife in front of him, yeah. Oh. Oh my goodness. I rolled
Oh,
a
I just-
26 liquor.
Alright, Cham, how'd you go on the charisma saving throw?
26.
Oh, you feel as her fingers reach around your shoulders, you feel her fingertips just ever so lightly dance across the nape of your neck as she lifts this thing off you. And you feel a thrill go through your body, but because you rolled high enough, you don't come in your pants.
Ah.
Good job. I open the door and Hagrid's like, there's food that's not for me. Fat idiot, honestly. Okay, so she lifts the rucksack away from your shoulders, and she lifts it up and she inspects it, and you hear her sort of chuckle, a very low, sort of husky, throaty chuckle, and she says, "Oh, I thought I'd hear from her sooner or later. Thank you. And your name is
Zane, yeah.
Zane. Oh my, we do love a single syllable name, don't we?
Mm.
And your
Any work
companions?
for you got any work for me?
We'll see about that, young man. I'm sure I can find some way to put you to work. What about your young friends over here?
I am Aelirith.
Yep, and this is Kishnira. Do you got a private room that we can speak in?
She sort of laughs and she places her finger across her lips and she says, "Not now, Zane. I'll talk to you about
No,
it
like
later."
seriously, we've got something to talk to you about and to show you.
It's of a
My,
business
my,
matter.
he's so forward. How do you put up with him? Is he always like this?
Oh, I'm immune to being charmed.
The bluntness is.
Oh, I'm
quite
immune to being
nice.
charmed.
I haven't even attempted it yet, but I can guarantee you my charisma is pretty good.
I can guarantee you
My
mine's just
charisma.
Ah.
And she's sort of like, she was putting on this flirty thing again. It's almost like emoji slips into without even realizing it. And she sort of stops and she says, "Oh, all right. I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've been in civilized company. Kara, I'll get you to leave now. Thank you. I shall call for you later on." And Kara goes, "All right, miss. I'll be in for my shift later. And she sort of looks you up and down and sort of like runs her tongue along the inside of her upper lip, and she says, "Might see you later too." All right, I'm off. And you see her flounce out of the door again, all swishing skirts and bits jiggling.
She rested
I'm trying not to
down the
get
stairs.
too graphic, but this
The
is really
physics
intense.
engine in this game is
The
just
jiggle
ridiculous.
mechanics are outrageous.
Sliders turned up to 11.
Yeah, all the way up to 11. The ratios, man, it's wild. And as Kara leaves and shuts the door behind her, Miriam sort of turns around to the three of you and she says, "Yes, please come up to my office. Although I will get you to leave your shoes at the door. We don't wear shoes upstairs."
What about pants? Do we wear pants upstairs?
Make a charisma saving throw, Zane. If you keep saying shit like this, man, I'm gonna just start assuming it's in game.
I rolled an 11
so...
plus 7, so that's an 18.
Damn, dude, that's the first time you've rolled under the DC. She turns around and looks
Under
at
the
you, Zane.
DC?
Yeah.
What the fuck was
Yeah,
the DC?
Just, I'm not gonna tell you that, but it's
20.
It's fucking high. It's fucking
It's
high.
above 18.
She turns around to look at you and she raises her eyebrows at you, Zane. She says, "We can talk about trousers after we talk about business."
Sounds good.
You are rock hard.
Hell yeah.
So is it like, is it made of ice now? Or
I'm
like,
ready.
what's
It's made of
going
ice.
on?
One of my maces. I get 2 attacks. I'm joking. Okay.
So
All
you
right,
guys,
we get into the room
y'all were
upstairs.
joking about this, but I took that personally. As you guys head up the stairs, Zane, you are walking immediately behind Miriam, and you can smell her as she's walking in front of you. She smells like freshly cleaned laundry. There's a sort of like musky patchouli scent, like incense, coming from her
I
hair.
love patchouli.
Yeah, and
I don't know what the fuck patchouli is.
there's still that smell of like lilies and like jasmine oil and that sort of thing as she sort of makes her way past you and upstairs. And you can hear the little bells on her anklets jingling as she takes steps up. The rest of you guys follow her up into her office, which is sort of like you guys get up there, she opens the door and lets you in. And it's sort of like a similar sort of vibe to the room downstairs, but because this window's upstairs, there's a lot more light coming in. And there are these big golden gossamer curtains that come down from floor to ceiling. That are just sort of like, the windows open and they're swaying gently in the breeze. There's a very sort of like severe looking wooden desk in the back of the room next to the window, covered in like what looks like ledgers, sheets of paper, pens. There's a beautiful like ink pot made of some sort of like shining golden metal in the middle on the surface. There's a blotting pad. There's a stack of feathers for quills. There's rolls and rolls of parchment behind her stacked into the wall. There's a huge like bookcase with thick heavy tomes in, and in front of the desk there are some more of those red chintz sort of like couches, but they're sort of like individual little comfy seats that are arranged in sort of a half moon. It's about 4 seats there that are arranged in a half moon in front of the desk. There is a very thick plush sort of Persian style carpet underneath the whole thing, and as you guys walk up with your bare feet, you can feel yourself sink into it, and it's just a very sensuous caress of carpet as you guys walk across and take seats, which is what I imagine you do. Just tell me if you don't.
I mean, I'm more likely to trust the seats up here than the ones downstairs, so yeah, we might as well. If we mean business, we mean business, and that means sitting down.
That's it. All right, we're sitting down.
All right.
To start off with, our mutual friend Erwin said you might be able to help us out.
Yes, I knew. The moment I saw who'd packed that rucksack, I knew exactly who sent you. I hope she's doing well. Is she
and
well?
She is
Quite
doing
well.
as well as she can with what has happened. But, Kishner, you can get comfortable here, by the way. Like, you don't have to, like, cover up.
Can I do a perception check on
It'll be insight. Yep.
insight? Sorry,
Yep, for sure.
I got a 15.
All right. With an insight of 15, you can see that Miriam is sort of like she's getting some things together for tea, so her back's kind of towards you guys as you're getting settled down. And as she sort of turns around with the tea tray and places it down on the desk in front of the three of you, again, you can hear the little bells jingling on her anklets as she's walking around. And as she places the tea tray down, you see that there's like a glass teapot. There's glasses on this thing, and you can see that there's a thin. It's sort of like a translucent, like it looks like apple juice inside this teapot, and it's steaming gently. But right down the bottom, you can see that there is a flower slowly opening in the hot water. As she places it down, and she looks at you, Kinura, and she says, "Oh yes, you can take all that off. And I had a feeling I knew what you were. I could smell you as you walked in. You are comfortable. It's safe here. The doors are closed. Don't worry."
What does she smell like?
What do I smell like?
You smell like metal.
What do I smell like?
Can you stop being such a lughead?
I'm
Oh my
not
god.
I'm not actually trying to be a lughead right now. I actually want to know: do I smell like the ocean? Do I smell like sea?
She sort of cocks her head and she looks at you, Zane, and she says, "You smell like polished leather and seawater. Also a little bit like sweat as well. Do I make you nervous, Zane?"
Nah, I'm just a big man, you know.
Oh, do shut up.
Shut up!
Shut.
Shut that up. And you, my dear, she turns around and looks at you, Aelorith. She says, "Now, I've only seen hair that colour once before. And that was at a concert you put on quite a long time ago."
So you've heard of me.
"I have. It's a pleasure to have you in my establishment."
The pleasure's all mine, thank you.
It might be. If you like, that is. I know we don't like to mix business and pleasure, but, you know, I'm a hospitable woman. Anyway,
All right.
thank you for bringing the missive from Erwin. She was one of my best girls when she worked for me. I'm glad to hear she's doing
She worked for you.
well. Oh, yes. She was only young. She was just a runner at the time.
Oh yeah. Anyway, back to business. We've been sent to look at these caves. Can we pull out a map and show her the map?
Yep, so you are going to roll out the map across the desk?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys drink any of the tea that she offers you?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so I'm not going to get you to make constitution saves or anything for this one, but it is a very delicate floral sort of green tea thing. Have you guys ever had blooming tea before?
No.
Nah.
Alright, so the way blooming tea works is it's like a big flower head along with some other like tea blends and stuff, usually in a packet that does bloom in hot water. And as she's pouring this tea out for you guys, you can see that the petals of this, it looks like a peony or a rose of some sort, is just floating gently in this teapot as she's pouring them out to you. And the tea itself is delicate, it's lightly spiced, it's got a little bit of a hint of bitterness, but overall it's incredibly refreshing and just tastes really, really good. And as you guys are sipping and Zane is rolling out this map in front of you, Miriam sort of like, she takes a seat down on the opposite side of the desk and she pours herself a cup and she sort of has it in her hands as she's leaning over. And she sort of looks down at it and she says, she runs her finger along the some of the map stuff that Merlin's written down and she says, Now these aren't the normal caves I'm used to spelunking, but I can see... And you've been sent on the order of the High Magus, is that correct?
Indeed.
That's
Yeah, high magician, yeah, that one.
Out of character. Zane, are you normally like this around hot women, or are you just like...
No, I'm starting to get annoyed at Merlin for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. Not too enthusiastic about his name.
What, he just sounds like a bit of a twat, or what?
I mean, to be fair, you've met him. He is kind of a twat.
Yes.
So...
Indeed, indeed.
Look, stuck up.
And Miriam sort of like looks over and then looks back at the three of you and she says, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable sending you in there by yourselves. I don't know how much Merlin's told you. But
I mean, we asked him for everything and he told us like absolutely nothing, so.
Yes, well, he
Doesn't know much.
Why does that not surprise me? You'd think he'd put out word to the people who actually know about things in the areas, but him and I have some sort of history that I'm sure he doesn't want to be public knowledge. Anyway, I can tell you first and foremost that those 2 caves are completely out of limits because they were flooded 2 weeks ago with the rains. This
I'm a
one
strong
here,
swimmer.
and she taps on the page. This one here might have some merit for something that you're looking for. I'm not going to ask what you're looking for. I don't care. Although, and you see her reach over to the pot of feathers and like quill tips, and she sort of fits one together and dips it in her inkwell, and she starts to write on your map in a very flowing, sort of graceful script. As she sort of draws a section on the map that wasn't there previously, like she's drawing a whole new section on the map attached to one of the main runways that you're seeing on the map that like throughout this cave system. And she goes, now this one is one I know about personally because I've been there. It's a grotto of some sort. I don't know if that's going to be helpful for you in your search, but it might pay to look there. Although I will say one thing, make sure you don't eat or drink anything while you are in there.
Anything that we retrieve from the grotto or anything that's even brought into it?
Don't eat or drink anything while you're in there.
Got it.
Why? What's happened previously?
Kara seems to think there's some sort of spore out and about in that particular one, so best to wear a mask. Don't eat or drink anything. It's not safe.
As in just like a cloth wrapped around our face, or like doing like a special type of mask that the miners got?
If you can get your hands on a miner's mask, it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I would imagine a cloth across the face would do just as fine. And you also need to be careful of rockfall here and here. And I know that there are miners working on the struts in this section, so this should be safe. This one was flooded a while ago, but it should be clear now. And
Any
that
weird
one-
animals?
Not as far as I know, but again, the miners can be a little bit tight-lipped when it comes to their work and that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure they're under some sort of agreement with the foreman. Him and I don't get on, you see.
You'd think he would get on.
She sort of laughs and she says, no, he thinks I'm a witch. So he
Is
doesn't...
that... sorry, is that common with all of the men here? Because we've heard something to that sentiment from a lot of the men around here.
Oh, darling girl, like, you know how men get when there's a group of women who don't like to listen to what they say.
I understand that. They say everything negative that can pass their lips.
Yes. That's putting it politely, by the way. No, they're more than happy to come to us when their needs met, but anything further and we're a threat, I suppose.
Oh, the plight of being a woman.
Well, don't imagine you have too much trouble with that. Again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Although I must say,
No.
your scales are a captivating colour. I've not seen one like that before.
Well, if we are to do business later, I'm sure you'd be able to keep one of your own.
She sort of puts her hand to her chest and goes, my goodness. Well, I suppose you'll have to come back in one piece then, won't you?
I'll make sure of it, don't you worry.
Yeah, right. Can we think of anything else we would need or
So
want
back
before we go?
to business!
Oh, I've asked for work. She said she'd find some work for me. Maybe I can make a couple extra gold, you know what I'm saying? But
I don't think that's what she thought you meant.
oh, okay.
Patrolling the streets by day, patrolling the sheets by night.
Excuse me,
well,
that's
I
a
grew up on
fine
the
for that movement there.
Excuse me, ma'am, do you have a license for that dump truck?
We'll have to take it back to the
You want me to lift
station.
anything heavy for you?
Get that off your chest, baby. Come here.
I could bench like two of yous.
Is there anything on that tall shelf that you need me to grab for you while I'm here? All right, so yeah, Miriam is kind of like giving you guys a bit of a rundown on like the most recent conditions of the mine.
Yeah.
And as she does so, you guys hear a knock on the door, and Miriam sort of like gets up and she opens it just a crack, and she has a whispered conversation with the person on the other side before closing the door and coming back to you and says, "Well, I hear you had a bit of a run-in with some of the folk up at the logging camp further up the river."
Oh, we just had a good old laugh with them, yeah.
Well,
I
Captain
think
Sterling
with is incorrect.
Captain Sterling has just sent a missive to our lovely neighbours over at the camp on our side. I don't like him very much, but there's not much I can do about that. Thankfully, he's much further away. Well, I suppose I shall offer you hospitality here. I mean, to be fair, it's probably safest for the three of you to stay here than anywhere else in town. I will say that they are not necessarily hospitable towards strangers, let alone those of your ilk. So you are welcome to stay here. We've got back rooms we can put you in that aren't used for the Lily's regular business. If at all you get squeamish about that sort of thing.
Lovely. Alright, well, that's very generous of you. Will we have any problems with the town folk? I mean, like,
I don't think you will.
I love a good tussle.
I would advise against getting into fights with any of these men around here. There's a very barely contained ferocity in some of them.
Oh, yeah.
We will behave, don't you worry.
Normally, I don't like it when women as pretty as you say that, but in this context, yes, I would ask that you do. Now, I do have a word of warning. There are things down there in the mine system that don't like to follow the rules, if you catch my drift. I have not seen it myself, I'm only repeating hearsay. But I figure if you're going to go down there, you'd best be well prepared.
Well prepared how? Like,
Well, I was
more
going to give
lights?
you one of my canaries.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we keep them out the back in the aviary, and they're very good at spotting things that are out of the ordinary.
Alrighty.
But I shall give you one of those. But please do try to take care of her. Them rather. They are good birds. I like to keep them safe. They do a good job.
What type of bird are they, real quick?
Canary. They're small and they're yellow.
Alright, yeah, that's
They
right.
look
That's
like
fine.
swallows.
Yeah. Zane was gonna go into like a fit of fucking rage.
Yeah. Bit.
Walks into the aviary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just feathers everywhere.
He's eaten 4 of them without even really realizing what he was doing. Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm happy to chill the night here. Do you guys have any drinks? Do you guys serve, are you a licensed premises?
Of course we're a licensed premise. I can show you the license and everything.
Oh, I don't need to
We
see
keep
the license,
everything-
I just need to
we
see
keep
the drink.
everything 100% above board here, Captain Zane. Just in case you were thinking of coming in and doing any sort of investigating. But yes, no, of course. But please, come downstairs with me and I shall get you set up with Mara. At the bar.
Sweet. Let's go.
And she opens the door to her office and ushers you out and then closes it and locks it behind her and puts the key in between her cleavage and follows you down the stairs. And she directs you to the part of the other side of the building that you guys didn't see when you first came in. It's like this big, comfortable, well-lit bar. Again, there's the comfy red seats, shimmering curtains up everywhere. And you see that there's a couple of groups of men and women sitting around. Like drinking. There's a little bit of music from someone who's playing a lute in the corner. It's just generally just quite a nice little. It's a nice, very sort of like private yet enjoyable vibe in here.
Mm-hmm.
As she directs you over, walks up behind the bar and takes down a magnum bottle of something, pops the cork, and pours you guys all very tall glasses of a fizzing amber-coloured champagne and invites you all to drink with her.
Oh, I'm down to drink. Let's go.
All right. Clink, clink, pop, pop, all round. And is it okay if we end the session there before we get into the meat of things next week?
Yep.
I know it's
Yeah,
only 2
sure.
hours, but I'm kind of
That's
like
fine.
losing the plot a little bit. So
That's all right.
thanks so much everybody for coming along tonight. I promise next week's session is going to be a little bit more meaty, a little bit more fun stuff's going on. You're going to see some more sides of Miriam, Mara, and Kara. Hopefully not their full underside, but you never know. Fade to black. But yeah, see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to raid out in a second too. Bam, 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 bam.
Listen up, team. We need to get that meal before anyone else.
Burger 6, going dark.
We
Alright, we're going to raid out to
let us
Rusty Pie
fucking-
Lover.
Now.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Alrighty, and then we're going to call it there, guys. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one. We'll see you then. Bye.
Good job.
Bye.
Now bring it home.
Bye.